the best two teams in the state of South Carolina. Well, I mean, I guess Coastal's up there, but still. Will Carolina be up for the challenge, especially after knocking off number 5 Tennessee just last weekend? The Palmetto Bowl, South Carolina at number 8 Clemson at 12 p.m. on ABC. Got the spread, the Vegas coming in, Clemson by 14.5. That's a big point spread for Clemson going up against a team that just beat Tennessee by 25. The number 5 team in the country by 25. A good Tennessee team. So, what are the playoff implications? Because there are some for this game. Clemson is not out of this yet. They're not out of the playoff conversation yet. Now, a lot of things have to happen, but they have a path. Okay, but this game is a must-win for Clemson. Clemson's won something like 29 games in a row in Death Valley. South Carolina could be the first one to knock them off. And I think if South Carolina plays exactly like they did against Tennessee, this game will be close. And South Carolina, they may come away with the W. Now, we talk about transitive property on this show, right? Like, well, this team, Team A, played Team B, and then Team C played Team B, but Team A beat them worse than Team B did, or Team C did, right? We don't like to talk about that because teams can be hot at different times. And this is not a transitive property thing. This is a South Carolina is hot right now, okay? Now, you may think, well, they just went to Florida and lost by, 40, almost 40. Yeah, but South Carolina beat number 5 Tennessee by 25 the next week at home. Ultimately, if the South Carolina offense rolls, this game is going to come down to defense. So can the Gamecock defense stand up to the Tiger offense? Maybe. I mean, they played pretty good against Tennessee. They had some passes over the middle. Their secondary did not look amazing. They played well, but not amazing. Can DJ Uiagalelei, can he expose that secondary? Or is South Carolina going to roll into Clemson and take it? I'll tell you right now, Joey is picking Clemson 100%. Duh, because he's a Clemson fan. Joey's going to take Clemson in this one. But I'll tell you what, I'm calling the Gamecocks to get their first win against Clemson since 2013. I think Shane Beamer's got that team playing well. I think if they play exactly, like I said, if they play exactly like they did against Tennessee last week and they roll into Death Valley this Saturday at 12 o'clock, they're going to get the win. I'm calling the Gamecocks and Shane Beamer and Spencer Rattler and to Carry-On Joyner and Josh Van and all these dudes to roll in there and get the dub this Saturday. Go Cox, Spurs up.
Man, this is a tough one now because you guys are split on me. You know, Mason, this is going to be a good game.
It's always tough for you when we split, isn't it?
It is, 100% every time. I don't know, man. Clemson, I think 14.5 is very generous. I think that's probably due to the fact that it's at Clemson, and South Carolina has not beat Clemson in quite some time. But looking at this matchup, South Carolina, they absolutely rolled last weekend in Columbia against Tennessee. And we could talk about, part of that towards the end especially was because Hendon Hooker went out, but they dominated the entire game. I mean, they punched Tennessee in the mouth early. And I've got to say, Clemson has not proven to be consistent all season. That's no knock to them. They just haven't been. I don't know how much that you can pin on the quarterback. I personally pin a lot of it on him. But that's Dabo's decision. That's not on anybody else. But with that being said, Beamer ball is going really well right now. Rattler had a career day. And I've got to say, given South Carolina's performance last weekend, if they can do it again, I think they'll knock off Clemson. And that's exactly why I'm going to go with the Cox as well. I think they're going to go into Clemson and get the win, pull off the upset, end the streak, and get their first win in the Battle of the Palmetto State.
Look, Clemson's got a good defense, and I think that they very well may win this game. But I don't think they'll win it by 2 touchdowns. And all of this is definitely based on hopefully South Carolina playing exactly like they did last week. They're going to have a lot of confidence rolling into Clemson. This is exactly the thing that Clemson did not want them to have coming into this game.
But I also want to add this, Mason, on the flip side of what you just said. They might have a lot of confidence, but it's almost like the other week with LSU and Arkansas. I said we have to prepare. After Sunday, we have to prepare for Arkansas after beating Bama. And whether or not the emotions were high or they were drained or whatever, we went into Fayetteville, and if it wouldn't be for Harold Perkins, we would have lost the game. And if, like I said, KJ Jefferson would have played, we would have lost the game. But I have to wonder if South Carolina lets their emotion boil over a little bit too much. They have too much turkey or ham, and they go into Clemson a little bit sluggish from the emotional toll of last weekend. I can't help but wonder if that'll be the case, but either way, I got the Cox.
And that is another thing to think about, and that's a great point, Isaac. And you know what? I honestly think that Shane Beamer is going to bring them back down to earth coming this week during practice. And I really think they're going to roll into Death Valley. And you know what? At the very least, keep it close. It's not going to be 30-0 like it was last year, okay? This is going to be a good game. I got South Carolina. You got South Carolina. Joey's got Clemson. Go figure. It's going to be a good game.